But here's the big thing. It's not just ICE to stop people from voting at the polls. Lawfare, executive orders, high muzzle velocity that Bannon talks about, they can issue lots of executive orders, pepper the place, lots. They can put one that says, oh no, the federal government runs the ballots, not the states, even though it's written in black and white in the Constitution. Donald Trump, as the president, has the power to issue executive orders, which are almost like law, except where they conflict with existing statutes or when there are statutes that are created that then override the executive order, or the Supreme Court rules that it's beyond the constitutional ambit of the president. That is, it's beyond his power. If Donald Trump does something, but the Constitution says no, the states have the power, for instance, to run the elections. And so there's two weak spots where they can hit. One is it's a 6-to-3-way split on the Supreme Court, which means if they can rule that Trump is above the law and is basically indemnified and can do anything as long as it's official, basically a king and any other name, and they can totally turn the Constitution on its head because chapter and verse, that's not the spirit and intent or literally what's in the Constitution. If they can change that, they can change anything. They can make the sky black, the earth flat.
Yeah.
And so they could rule, yes, Trump has powers and his executive order holds, and that the election should be run by Donald Trump, whoever he appoints, in any way he likes. The other one is you fire so many of these executive orders in rapid succession that you overwhelm. You do that maybe the week before the election happens, and then on election day, you make that EO ruling. The courts can only handle so much. The ACLU are the champions. One of the biggest fighters for democracy right now is the ACLU. They are the heroes because the key pillar to our whole democracy and it not falling is the ACLU actually stopping these overreaches. And what will happen is if they're flooded, they've only got so many lawyers and there's only so many courts and you can only issue so many so many writs into the system to have court cases. And if one happens on the day, what happens? They can cause madness and confusion by peppering the place full of executive orders. Trump doesn't even need to do it. They've got a signing machine, and Stephen Miller and some others that are probably the ones that are the architects for whatever happens. They'll do a Steve Bannon high muzzle velocity and just pump the place full of executive orders, flood the court systems. And so there'll be confusion like, well, the states are supposed to have this in the Constitution, but the executive order conflicts. What happens? Mass confusion, pandemonium. And even if the elections do run on, then there's question marks over it. And you can use those to say, oh, well, really, the Democrats cheated, even though it's all a contrived game.